guys, and welcome to Odds On Champions League. The last match day of the group stage is here, and we are going to analyze every single game on Tuesday, especially that Leipzig Man United. Also, we have Lazio Bruges. So, a lot of things on stake, always with Alvaro Romeo and Dani Fisichella. And remember, if you leave a comment in this video, you will have the chance to win a £10 free bet with Novibet. Just leave a comment and you will participate in the draw. And if you enjoyed the video, please click on the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click on the bell to get all the notifications. And now let's listen to all the predictions. Last match day of the group stage in the Champions League, 6th match day, and we have together with us today Alvaro Romeo and Dani Fisichella. Hello guys.
Hello.
And there are many things that are already decided, but some others to be decided in this exciting match day. So let's start on Tuesday with the Group E. Here there is nothing in play actually. Everything was very clear in the last week. And let's check the first game. We have Chelsea-Krasnodar. Dani, impressive Chelsea. We were saying that Sevilla was going to beat the Blues, but actually Sevilla didn't take that game very seriously, whereas Chelsea, with Giroud, who scored a poker, really take seriously the game because it was very important to be first of this group. And Krasnodar is going to the Europa League. Here, Daniele, you also think Chelsea is going to keep this competitive way and beat Krasnodar at home?
I believe so, because as you said, Chelsea were impressive. They also have a lot of strength in depth. Chelsea is second team are no worse than any other team that they have in the group. Very professional players. I mean, Giroud is the example of professionalism, and I think they want to keep going. However, I'm sure Lampard will start making rotations, because now for the English team starts the very tough period of the year. They'll have around 8 or 9 games to play in the next month. Obviously, the Christmas schedule is very busy. And Chelsea then have 2 away games. They go to Everton, they go to Wolverhampton. So I think they'll have to rest player. Again, I think the Premier League this year, it's very open. So Chelsea might think to have a chance. Krasnodar, it was their debut season in the Champions League. I don't think they did badly at all. They showed good proposition going forward. We have to remember last year Krasnodar finished 20 points behind the champions Zenit. So, there is a gulf in quality, but I'm sure they'll have a good chance in the Europa League, which they qualify for. I would say Chelsea to score in both halves, which pays around 2.
Alvaro, Krasnodar saved the Russian pride. Actually, is the only victory for a Russian team. And here to find good odds, we have to go for Chelsea Asian handicap 1.5 minus 1.5, which is a bit risky, I would say.
Yes, and I think that this game is totally marked by the fact that Krasnodar is already qualified for the Europa League. Otherwise, it could be a little bit different. And I agree with Daniele. I mean, the depth in the squad of Chelsea is very impressive, and all this is down to the fact that this summer they have recruited so well. They have invested a lot of money in top players, and what they have done this summer reminds me of what they did in the past for a couple of summers when Abramovich just broke into the market and broke the market, quite literally, starting spending a lot of money on players. So that Chelsea seems to be back, and I think that they are so good and especially so prolific going forward that I'm going for the following. Chelsea to win both halves, pays 325. Again, Krasnodar is already qualified for the Europa League, so there is no pressure on them. And I'm going for a clean sheet for Chelsea. I know that maybe Edouard Mendy won't be playing this time, but still, whoever plays there knows that is well supported by a good defense at the minute. So a clean sheet pays 210.
Well, if it's Kepa the goalkeeper, it's going to be very risky that bet. But let's see. It's always very tricky to bet on games that are completely decided. These are like friendly games, although there are a lot of money also in play. Yeah,
3 million.
Yeah,
for the
so
win.
it's something that we have to take in consideration also for the next game. Sevilla, again, same thing. Both teams have nothing to play for apart from that money and the pride. And Alvaro, actually, Lopetegui was really, really criticizing Sevilla for that heavy victory. The team finally had qualified for the last 16 round. But Sevilla is a very exigent club. They don't like the image they showed last week. So probably this is going to affect here also in the way Lopetegui is going to prepare the game, even if they have a tough game during the weekend against Real Madrid. Here, Sevilla is slightly favorite, 2.6.
Yes, I know. And I think that Lopetegui was angry the other day after the game. I think that nothing like that would have happened. Having fans in the stands, because you may remember that Sevilla once lost 3-0 in the first half against Liverpool at Sánchez-Pizjuán, but they managed to come back in the second half. That's happened 2 years ago, just because the fans don't accept, as you say, Edu, they are very exigent. This time there are no fans and Sevilla let it go a little bit. So yeah, it's a shame that they lost, but also you have to remember that they are a little bit sandwiched between a congested fixture in Spain. Real Madrid is a difficult game to have before playing Chelsea, after playing Chelsea, and Getafe is coming after this game against Stade Reims. So I can imagine Sevilla rotating a little bit, and the rotations don't seem to work very well for Lopetegui at the minute. So I'm going for a draw this time. I think the draw is always a bit risky, but Rennes hasn't been so bad in this Champions League, and the draw pays 3.36. A bit of, pride safe for the French team getting a point against the Spaniards.
The Rennes were disappointing. Probably they are in the top 3 of the most disappointing teams in the Champions League for me. They only scored 2 goals, and alongside Seville, I think they need to try to make up ground in the league. At the moment, neither Rennes nor Seville would qualify for the next Champions League unless Seville wins the Champions League, which is a little bit unlikely. I must say, I was a bit disappointed also by the Europa League winners. I would have expected a little better football from them. So I think, as you said, as Alvaro said, they'll try to restore the pride in France. I would go for a conservative bet, which in this case is Seville to take the lead, and that pays around 1.95.
Tricky game, this one too. Bet. Let's move to Group F. This is much more interesting, especially the first game at the Olimpico. Daniele, we have Lazio Bruges. Finally, Lazio can qualify for the last 16 round. They haven't done it actually since this new format. The last time they were in the knockout stages of the Champions League was in 2000. So they only need to draw this game, and we saw a very good performance of Lazio against Borussia Dortmund, especially with a great Immobile. He scored the penalty and he had a couple of chances. So I would say, Daniele, they've been doing a good role in this Champions League. They didn't play the competition since 2007, and now they only need a point against Bruges. But remember that the Belgian team is way better away than at home, and the odds here for the Lazio victory is 1.89. Would you take them, Danny?
It's a tricky game for Lazio. Sometimes they seem to play better away from home than at home. At the Westfalen Stadion, the game plan worked perfectly. They are a great counter-attacking team. They managed to lead very comfortably, 1 goal behind on the 1-0, 0-0. They don't seem to panic in those situations. But this time, Lazio needs to take the game to Bruges. They need to attack a little bit more, and so I think it will be a real test of nerves for them. Bruges, on the other hand, they missed the big goal scorer. Diatta already scored 6 goals, so that could be a problem. However, other young players have stepped up in the game against Zenit, and we have to remember that for the first fixtures, they had Lazio on the ropes for over 65 minutes. Lazio equalized only at the end. I can see a very difficult game here, so I'm going to go with 2 odds. Either a double chance, X2. I think the draw is more likely, but that odds pays around 2.08. Or, if you want to be a bit adventurous, Lazio to score in both halves, and that pays around 2.65.
You also see problems here, Alvaro, for Lazio?
Not so many. I think that Lazio they are within a point of the last 16. It's true that in the Serie A they haven't been very impressive this season from the teams in the top half of the Serie A table. Lazio had a negative goal difference going into the week number 10. So, as I say, they haven't been impressive, but at the same time, you know, they are a better team than Club Bruges. And Bruges, I think that their biggest merit is that they are still, they are still able to qualify for the last 16 round because they are a decent Champions League side. They are becoming that little by little. We saw sign of that last year, for example, when they played at Santiago Bernabeu. This season they have done some really remarkable games. But still, I think that Lazio is the favorite for this game. And I will go for the following. For a Lazio win, I mean, that pays 187. Maybe it's not the best place to put your money on. And for something much more adventurous, in my opinion, Lazio to score in both halves, that pays 265.
This group is interesting. We have Borussia Dortmund 10 points, Lazio 9, Bruges 7, and Zenit 1. So that means that Borussia Dortmund needs to win against Zenit if they want to grab the first spot, especially if Lazio wins at the Olimpico. Here, tricky trip for Borussia Dortmund with the odds 1.82, but especially considering, Alvaro, how terrible Zenit is performing in the Champions League. Also last year they were bottom of the group. I don't know if we should trust Borussia Dortmund. We knew also that Haaland is injured, so this is a major blow for them. And I think they should have learned from last year how important is being top of the group last year. They had PSG in the last 16 round and they were kicked out of the competition.
Absolutely, yes. And this is a very important thing. I believe that Dortmund is going to go for it. Look, there is no Erling Haaland playing for Borussia Dortmund, right? So I've got a question now. What kind of Borussia Dortmund are we going to see? Will they resemble the Borussia Dortmund that they were a year ago, a little bit soft in both boxes? Or are they still a free-flowing attacking team without Haaland? Have they developed maybe a habit to pass the ball to him all the time, and therefore they are going to miss him? So these are for me the key questions going into the game for Borussia Dortmund. I still believe that they are going to win away because they've got really remarkable strikers up front. A win away pays 182. I'm going to save that odd for my accumulator, and there is another odd that I like a lot. Win 2-0 for Borussia Dortmund pays 320, and Zenit, we have to say that they have conceded more goals than Dortmund has scored. So they are so bad at the back that I don't see them beating Borussia Dortmund. So I can see, however, Dortmund getting a clean sheet and winning.
Well, Zenit, as I said before, if Ran was in my top 3 of disappointing teams, probably Zenit is the top 1 of disappointing in the Champions League, because they won the league last year very comfortably in Russia, but they already conceded 11 goals in the Champions League. They have got a game plan that, I'm going to use a very famous phrase from Alvaro. They don't have a plan B. The plan B seems to be do the plan A a little bit better, and it's always basically ball to Juba, and Juba does the job. He already scored 7 goals this season, but where are the other options? Borussia, they haven't got Haaland. It's very perhaps difficult for them to score many goals. They know a draw will not do. I can see a tight game, a low-scoring game. So I'll go for under 2.5 goals, which pays 2.25.
I would say all the Eastern European teams have been very, very disappointing, except Shakhtar Donetsk, including all the Russians. Of course, all 3 Russians are not performing well. Let's see what we have in Group G. We have a very, very interesting game if we take a look at the name of the clubs. And the first spot of the group is still on stake. I'm talking about Barça, Juventus, but the Italian club, La Vecchia Signora, they need to win at least for 3 goals to get this first spot. We saw Barcelona beating very comfortably Ferencváros with good Griezmann, with good Dembele, even Braithwaite, with Messi resting, and Juventus, they also did the job against Dynamo Kiev with Cristiano Ronaldo and Morata still scoring. And we have 1 Spanish and 1 Italian. You see, I think Barcelona have shown Dani, that is a better team right now than Juventus in this Champions League.
For the last games that I saw, when I saw them playing against Osasuna, against Ferencváros, I saw a good Barcelona. I saw Griezmann playing well. Perhaps he's happier. He's dancing again after he scores. I don't know if he's happier because Messi wasn't there. But if you look at the numbers, I think Koeman is starting to getting things together. It's not the great Barcelona ever, but I think there are signs of improvement. They won 5 games in the group for the first time since 2003. Juventus, good reaction against Dynamo Kiev after getting draw at Benevento. They got the top scorer in Morata. I think it's a little bit of a tough ask to go to the Camp Nou and score 3 goals without conceding, but I think they'll go for it. And obviously, they got Ronaldo, they got Morata, former Madridistas. They might want to go into the score sheet, but I think it's a tough ask for Juventus. So I would say Barcelona win 2.80.
Well, Morata is always saying that he supports Atletico de Madrid, not Real Madrid anymore. So probably this is not, he's not very into the white shirt anymore. Alvaro, here I like the odds actually for over 2.5 goals. 1.73 because Daniele said that Juventus need to score. They need to try to be top of the group. Barcelona, we always know that they are good at scoring, especially in the Champions League. What do you expect here?
Yeah, those are certainly very good odds, and I believe that there will be goals in this game, definitely. So if you want to put your money on that, go for it. Also, if you really trust on Juventus, because you may be a supporter of Juve, or you may think that Cristiano Ronaldo can find it very easy against a defender, inexperienced guy like Mingueza, then go for a win for Juve, and that pays 3.56, which is already really, really, really good. But I'm not going for that one because I think that Barcelona is showing signs of improvement in every single department. They have found the number 9. Maybe he is not a great number 9, but his link-up game is very important for Griezmann or Messi, just to find a partner, somebody who can target the ball to. Martin Braithwaite is doing that job. And then Ronald Koeman, it's down to the manager to have a long squad or a short squad. I do believe that. And it's down to the manager because the manager has to play every player. And Ronald Koeman is doing that with the likes of Aleñá, Braithwaite, Mingueza, Trincao. Some players play because some others are injured. Some players play because Ronald Koeman believes in them. So Barcelona suddenly looks like a team with 20 very valid players, useful players, and I think that they are going to cause trouble to Juventus. So I'm going for the following. Barcelona to win with an Asian handicap of -1, 3.15.
Okay, easy victory for you. You think for Barcelona, maybe also a good option is to expect goals. Maybe we don't see that many goals in the other fixture of this group, Dynamo Kiev, Ferencváros here. The Europa League spot is on stake, and Dynamo Kiev, they only need a draw because they have -10 in the goal difference, and Ferencváros -11. They drew in Budapest, and there also Dynamo Kiev was a bit better, I would say, than Ferencváros. They were leading 0-2, but at the end, the goal scored by Boli drew that game. Alvaro, here the odds for Dynamo de Kiev actually, we know that they are much more experienced in Europe, is 1.83, probably is fair enough to take them.
Yes, I think so. And you were saying before, Edu, that Eastern European teams are not doing very well, and I was thinking that since the Iron Curtain fell like a long time ago, almost 30 years ago, the only Eastern European team that has progressed in the Champions League to the final stages is Dynamo Kiev when they reached the semi-finals at the end of the 90s. I'm going for them this time. I think that they are better than Ferencváros, and I think that they can win 2-0, that pays 3.13, and as you said before, a draw is enough for them. Also, a clean sheet for them pays 2.55. So those are not too adventurous bets, even though they sound like. Go for a clean sheet for Dynamo Kiev. I think that you may be lucky.
Ferencváros are the worst defense in the Champions League, 16 goals conceded. They're not very good on the road either. The last European win was 1 year ago in Moscow. The Ukrainian team are young, exciting. They lack a little bit of experience. But remember, this Dynamo Kiev team is pretty much the backbone of the Ukrainian team that won the Under-20 World Cup 2 years ago. We will see some of them in the Euros in the summer. So I think think this is great experience for them. And progressing into the Europa League, it will add to the experience. I am expecting goals because of the leaky defense of the Hungarians. So I will go for over 3.5 goals, which pays 3.30.
I like here also the Asian handicap -1 for Dynamo Kiev is paid 256 right now on oddspedia.com. I think these are also good odds because Dynamo Kiev should win this game. And let's go for Group H. This is one group that we really like. Let's start with in the Parc des Princes, PSG, Istanbul, Başakşehir. Danny, PSG made their job at Old Trafford. They suffer. We saw a really good Neymar, showing that he is one of the best, if not the best player right now in the world. Although they suffer in Old Trafford, now with a victory, they are gonna top the group, something that looked very complicated at the beginning of this group stage. And they are facing Istanbul, Başakşehir. I think actually they were pretty decent. We cannot say the same for other teams like Reims, but they even fought until the end against Leipzig. What a hat-trick of Kabetzi. If you haven't seen it, go and search on YouTube after this video, because what 3 goals here. Danny, you expect like PSG thrashing in Istanbul?
I'm not expecting thrashing them because, as you said, they got a tendency to suffer. But I must say, this PSG team that I've seen this season is one of the ones I've liked the most so far in the Champions League. They can grind out results. They can be compact. They don't leak too many goals at the back. And then they score against the run of play. Good teams do that. Let's not forget, you don't always have to score when you are completely on top. And Marquinhos' goal at Old Trafford was probably in the best moment of Manchester United. Same with Leipzig. They won despite not being the best team, and they have also a lot of quality. I must say, Tuchel's game plan and especially substitutions paid off. With Istanbul, they are not the worst team in the Champions League, maybe one of the most entertaining. They are very unbalanced, let's put it that way. They score a lot, but then they do silly mistakes at the back. They let goal in the last few minutes. I think for PSG, this game is crucial. They need to win. They need to finish top of the group. So I will say they're going to win both outs, and that pays around 2.
Alvaro, you also like, I guess, PSG in Old Trafford, and they should win comfortably, I would say, Istanbul, Başakşehir.
Yes, and I think that Daniel nailed it. I'm going for PSG winning both halves, which pays 2.0. I was very impressed with the autonomy that Mbappe and Neymar show. Aside from how good or how bad their team is playing, it's impressive. The first goal of PSG at Old Trafford is basically them both going against 5 men, and both are taking a shot in the same sequence. It's unbelievable how good they can link up, and not only when they are close to each other, but also when they are far away from each other, like in PSG's 3rd goal. They are amazing. Mbappe and Neymar, they are probably the biggest power force up front in the world, and I think that in this game they are going to score goals easily too. So I'm going for the following: PSG winning both halves, 2.0, yes. And then if you want to be adventurous and you believe that Istanbul, Başakşehir, since they can score goals, they will score a goal at Paris, I will go for the following: PSG to win from behind. This is a bit risky, I know, but that pays 8.50. Why not?
Well, it's very risky. We have to say also this PSG team is full of unsung heroes. There are a lot of players like Florenzi, like Herrera. We don't talk much about them, but if you make a top 11 of the Champions League, probably they'll be around there.
I was going to say exactly the opposite. I agree with you in a few things. I disagree in this completely. The other day, PSG was terrible at the back with a player like Diallo, for example, who is awful. Manchester United who have scored 2 or 3 goals. All the attacks coming from Diallo's wing, and I believe that the likes of Herrera or the likes of, for example, Danilo, they are a 6 out of 10 midfielders, but no more than that.
And Man United had their chances, but especially Martial, no? He missed some goals that a top scorer shouldn't miss.
Unforgivable.
Yeah, it's terrible. And now Man United, they are traveling to Leipzig. The draw is enough for the Red Devils to qualify, but I'm very looking forward to seeing this game, Leipzig-Man United, in my opinion, the most interesting game on Tuesday. Here, I want to know your opinion first, Alvaro. Again, Man United only need a point. We saw how Leipzig suffered a lot in Istanbul. It was a very comfortable game. Then something really strange happened, and at the very end, Sorloth scored the winner. Oof, it's difficult to trust Man United here, I would say.
It's difficult. This is the best game by far of next week, and Leipzig had a tough weekend as well against Bayern too. Let's don't forget that. So you should know, number one, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has never gone through a group stage as Manchester United manager, because when that happened in 2018, it was Jose Mourinho, the manager of Manchester United. So, well, this is something new for Ole. Let's see how he does here. So I'm going for the following. I think that Manchester United is going to win because the other day they were capable of beating PSG. They produced many goal chances as well. Let's don't forget that. I mean, they just couldn't score, but Cavani or Martial, I mean, they were this close to scoring goals. So I'm going for them to win. That pays 258, and I will stay with that. Then there is an Asian handicap of -1 for Manchester United that pays 4, but maybe that is a little bit too risky.
I see the game a little bit more on the balance on these regards. I think Leipzig have showed a resolve and a team spirit to get results in the end. But yes, they do concede too many goals, same as Man United. I think it's a very difficult one to call, so I got two options. You could go for an Asian handicap 0 for Leipzig, which means if they draw, you get your money back, but that means probably Man United goes through. Or you could go for a goal fest, lots of goals, over 3.5 goals in the game, and that pays 260.
I like the Asian handicap 0 actually for both sides, because we don't know what is going to happen. It's going to be very level. For Leipzig, as you said, now Expedia is 2.07. If you trust, like Alvaro does, Man United is paid 1.92, so it's always around this 2.0 odds that we are looking for, but very, very tough to call, and we are going to keep a close eye to this game, as we are going to keep a close eye to Alvaro's Aka, the only thing missing now.
Yeah, let's go. PSG to win both halves, Manchester United to win, a clean sheet for Chelsea, and then something to make your money a bit better. Dortmund winning away. That pays 19.7.
Okay, 19.7, we have it.
Don't forget, last week you were very close to get it right, Diakonde.
It was so annoying not to get it right. It was so annoying, it was this close.
Odds over 50, so that would have paid off our presents for Christmas. Very good call. Let's check next time. Thank you, guys. Let's see tomorrow again for another or the last games of this group stage in the Champions League. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very, very tough to call that game in Germany, Leipzig or Man United. Solskjaer's job is at stake. Well, let me know what you think in the comment section. I want to listen to all your opinions. And if you leave a comment, you will get the chance to win a £10 free bet with Novibet. You will just participate in the draw by leaving a comment. And remember, if you enjoyed the video, please press the like button, subscribe to our channel, and do not forget to click on the bell to get all the notifications. You can listen also to all our videos in our podcast. And tomorrow we will be back with more Champions League.